right. Our read aloud this week is called Clouds All Around.
Clouds all around. What do clouds tell us about the weather? Look up. The sky can be bright and blue, or it can be dark and gloomy. Are there clouds in the sky? The sky and clouds can tell you about the weather. Watch for fluffy white clouds against the blue sky on a sunny day. Dark clouds in a gray sky may be a sign that you need an umbrella. A storm may be coming. Some clouds appear to be white because they reflect the light of the sun. If the clouds get thick enough, all the light above does not make it through, and shadows are formed. Then the clouds look gray or dark.
Okay, so one of the key vocabulary words they use is reflect. Now, how come this cloud is white, but this cloud is like a dark color? Hayden.
Because the sun shines on the white cloud and the sun doesn't on the gray cloud.
Yeah, because they reflect the light of the sun, right? So the sun is able to reflect on these, or on these, the sun is not able to reflect, right? So that is why we have white clouds. Do you guys ever wonder that? Why is some clouds white and some clouds dark? I've always wondered that.
I wondered if a storm was coming.
Yeah, this is kind of a sign. If you ever see dark clouds, that's a sign that tells you what?
It looks like it's raining.
There's gonna be rain.
I got a question.
There's
Do you know
stuff.
what a zigzag area is?
It is almost, not quite, but I think it is supposed to be. Kinsley.
When I thought if they're white, they don't have any rain inside of them, and if they're dark, they do.
Right.
That's what I always thought.
So the colors of the cloud are a sign as to what type of weather we're having. Okay? Wyatt?
I always say when it's raining, God is sad.
She good, yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Okay, Louis?
That looks like someone running.
Oh, it's just my arrow on my
Well,
mouth.
it does look like
It
someone
does.
running.
It does. Okay, let's go on to the second card.
Ever watched a cloud for a minute or two? Have you seen the edges of the cloud get bigger or smaller? You were watching a cloud forming. A cloud is made up of tiny water drops or tiny pieces of ice floating together in the air. The heat of the sun warms lakes, oceans, and rivers. As these waters warm, some of the water evaporates or changes from liquid water into a gas. The gas is called water vapor. The water vapor rises into the air. As it rises, it cools. Some of the water vapor begins to change back into tiny drops of water. If it is cold enough, it turns into tiny pieces of ice. Those drops of water or pieces of ice come together to form clouds.
Okay, so when these clouds drop the precipitation like rain or snow or hail, they're dropping to the ground, and then when the sun heats them up, what happens? What's happening to this lake or this puddle? What's happening? Arya, what do you think's happening with that water?
It can dry.
It what?
It dry.
It doesn't, it might dry out. How does it dry out? What happens? Kaden, what happens?
It evaporates.
It evaporates. That's a very big word. Everybody say evaporate.
Evaporate.
And we're going to do a science experiment soon, not today or tomorrow, but very soon, on how water can evaporate. And then when it evaporates, it goes back up to the sky, and then it starts it all over again. And that's called the water cycle. And we're going to learn that in science. This is called the water cycle because it keeps going round and round and round and round. Okay?
Rain to rain is it's the same thing as rain's name. Like rain.
Yeah.
Although there are many different kinds of clouds, there are three main types of clouds. Scientists who study weather name the types of clouds mostly by the way they look. Have you seen big white clouds as puffy as white cotton balls? These are cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds are often called fair weather clouds. When you see these clouds, you're probably having pleasant weather. The bottom of each cloud is flat. The top of each cloud has rounded towers. Cirrus clouds are made of ice. They are thin, wispy clouds. High winds blow them into long streamers. Cirrus clouds are usually white and they are a sign of fair to pleasant weather. Watch out when you see clouds that look like layers of thin sheets. Stratus clouds are grayish clouds. They often cover the entire sky. Stratus clouds are a sign that drizzle or rain is on its way.
All right, so there's different types of clouds, and next week we're going to learn those types of clouds. But the type of cloud tells us what kind of weather we're going to be having. So these mean, like these big puffy ones means it's going to be good weather. These kind of wispy ones means it's going to be fair or okay weather. And these straight clouds means it's going to be maybe some dangerous or bad weather. So when you look at the clouds can tell you what type of weather we're having. Can you guys, I know it's hard to see because we only have two windows, but can you guys look outside and what kind of clouds do you see?
White puppy.
What? I see wispy and I see.
I would agree with Wyatt. There's some wispy and there's some puffy ones.
Yeah,
wispy.
So it means it's going to be kind of fair, good weather.
So it's
So
gonna
nothing
be
bad.
a mix.
It's a mix.
It's a mix.
It's a mix.
Oh
Alright.
my gosh, that's what.
Both rain and snow come from clouds, but not every cloud has rain or snow pouring out of it. So why do some clouds bring us rain or snow? This happens when the drops of water inside a cloud freeze onto the pieces of ice. The pieces of ice grow bigger and bigger until the cloud cannot hold them anymore. So the ice falls out of the cloud. It falls to earth as snowflakes. The ice might fall through air warm enough to melt the snowflakes floating in the air. Then it falls to earth as rain. The clouds can help you decide what to wear. How would you dress when you see fluffy cumulus clouds in a bright blue sky? How would you dress if you saw stratus clouds in a gray sky? Look up at the clouds. The clouds can help to predict the weather.
Okay, at the end she says the clouds can help you predict the weather. What does predict mean? That's a big word. If you predict something. Raylan, what are you doing?
Like plan.
You're maybe planning. Kind of go. What goes with predicting though? Kinsley?
No. So, like, you kind of know the weather?
You kind of are taking a good guess as to what's going to happen. So if you predict something, you're kind of planning by taking maybe a good guess to see what's going to happen. LEA.
Finding out?
Finding out. Yeah, you want to find out. Exactly. So if you're predicting, you want to find out what's going to happen. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to read a story about a tornado. And like Corliss says, and some of you have said, you guys have actually experienced a tornado. Those of you that lived in Grenada or around Grenada when it happened a few years ago. So you can share your stories tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow, we'll share our stories.
My step